Last week, our focus was taking and analyzing a running record to see what sources of information the reader used and neglected. In a balanced literacy classroom, this is done several times each day. So what does the teacher do with this information from the analysis? The teacher uses this data to reflect on his or her teaching and to plan future guided reading lessons. This week, you're going to be looking at text introductions. Chapter 5 in the guided reading text will help you. When you introduce the text to students, do not say, "Let's take a picture walk." It's not a picture walk. You say, "Let's preview the text." When you preview, you are discussing the illustrations or the pictures as well as the text. You want to be using academic language with students from their earliest school experiences. A text introduction is concise. You're giving the students a roadmap to the text. The text introduction provides just enough support to allow the reader to take on a more complex text. You don't want to take all the problem solving away from the reader. Leave some work for the reader to do. You always construct the text introduction with the particular readers in mind. So an introduction that you prepare for a text for one group will not fit another guided reading group. It is a good idea, in my mind, it is a best practice to physically write out your text introductions. This week, you are provided a form on Moodle to write your text intro. You're probably saying to yourself, "I don't need to write it out. How hard can this be?" Well, to be a well thought out introduction, it needs to be written out. The intro needs to contain all three sources of information. It needs to contain meaning, structure, and visual sources. I can tell you from experience, if you don't write these into the introduction, you won't include them. Book introductions are like running records. You're not going to be proficient at them from the beginning. The more you learn about literacy processing, the better your book introductions will be. This week, you're going to plan and implement a text introduction with your student. Do not have the student read the text this week. You are only writing the introduction and introducing the book. So you write out your introduction on the lesson plan, you videotape the introduction, and you submit both on Moodle. If you have any questions, please ask.